And ladies and gentlemen, my name is Arcane Static, and welcome back to Seduce Me the Otome. When last we left our intrepid heroine, she was about to be dropped into an oblivion full of teeth and darkness by this succubus Diana. I'm gonna fight her. I wasn't gonna let her win. I knew I could fight her. I began to pull on the hold on... What? I began to pull on the hold on me roughly. My mind was fighting, but my body wasn't responding.
You still wish to fight?
Diana rubbed her temples before walking to me.
I've had enough of this.
All of a sudden, Diana grabbed my head, making my mind blank out. I felt large waves of energy zip from my body and mind at her touch, but it intensified as Diana placed her lips on mine. Ooh. I didn't kiss back. I didn't fight. I couldn't do anything. I could only stare as she drained my body of energy. My body began to go limp and my mind grew insanely heavy. If I wasn't floating, I'd surely be on the ground passed out. How was she able to pull this much energy without doing anything more than kissing me? I would never know. Soon my whole body felt numb and I felt like an empty spirit floating in midair. Diana slightly frowned at the sight.
Such a waste.
Diana ran a hand over my hair, twirling a strand around her finger. Is she fucking murdering me?
So long, sweetie.
Before I knew it, I was falling. She'd let me go. I could only close my eyes. I didn't even feel a thing. End. So long, sweetie. Nope. That's not how we're doing this. That's not how we're doing this. I didn't even get any romance going. We're gonna try that bit again. So we can make a deal with her, or we can give up the memories. Let's make a deal. Then I remembered, demons have a conscience. They weren't heartless without a reason. She could be reasoned with. She could to be reasoned with. I am for to have been reasoned with. She seemed like a businesswoman. Wait!
What? You're wasting my time.
What about a deal, huh? Diana raised an eyebrow. I was afraid she wasn't one to listen. What if she was as ruthless as I imagined her to be?
I'm listening.
Oh, good. Wait, really? Was she really willing to listen to me? She didn't drop me in the pit of death, but she didn't let me out of her spell. Now is a good time as any to try reason. These memories are precious to me, but they're not worth me losing my life.
Of course.
I mean, if I die, people will wonder and try to find explanations to why I died or where I disappeared to.
Then just hand over your memories.
What if I traded them to you instead? You seem like a reasonable woman. A trade is better than forcing me to give in, right? This was insane. I didn't even know if she was willing to listen. She already had me hanging over a pit of death. The only thing I could hope for was her being forgiving enough to listen to reason.
Well, speak your terms. What do you want in exchange?
I wanna bone that! Wait, no, hang on. I let out a relieved sigh. She was willing to listen further. Well, what can you give me in return for them?
I'm a demon. I can give you anything within reason. Money, men, women, power. Name it. Just make it worth the price.
She could really get me anything? My mind began to wander. What did I want? Power or her? Oh, I have to, we're gonna save here because now I'm doing the save scumming. Wait, we have to do it on this one. Save scumming, woo! You. I heard Diana stifle a laugh.
Me? Are you serious? What do you mean, me?
Ooh. I looked to Diana again. She was indeed scary, but she was gorgeous, and somehow she interested me. More so than the boys. I mean, you staying with me for a little while. I want to get to know you and these rules you're talking about.
A human wanting to know more about a demon and the rules. You're really trying to step over your place, especially if you'll be losing those memories in the end.
But I'm gonna trick you, is what's gonna happen. I'm serious. I'll give you my memories and energy if you just stay for a couple of days. A day even. It'll be worth it.
Completely willingly?
Completely willingly.
And if you don't fulfill your end of the bargain?
Then you can feed me to your pit beast. Did that really slip out of my mouth? Was I really wanting to put my life back on the line again? If it meant keeping my memories for a little longer, then yes. Diana looked to me, scanning my body with her eyes for any signs of false intent. I didn't have any, so Diana sighed and snapped her fingers again. The demon below me vanished, and I was slowly lowered to the ground. I looked to Diana in surprise.
You are very lucky demon magic is so finicky.
What do you mean?
Why do you think demons make deals with humans like you?
Why do they? I wasn't sure. Demons were still new to me. I had heard stories of people making deals with demons and only ruin coming from it. Diana sighed.
It's one thing to take your memories or your energy. It's another for you to willingly give it. We get more for our effort if the one we make a deal with is willing.
That's fair.
Think of it like sex. If I'm aroused and you're willing to open your legs for me, I'll get pleasure. I'll enjoy it. You might enjoy it. And it's done.
That's fair.
But if you aren't willing and I force myself on you anyway, it's not so pleasurable for me. Even if I get what I want,
You make a
it
point.
won't be as worth the effort.
You make a point. Strangely, that made sense. It was very much like business. If I had what they want, they could negotiate for it, or they could take it away anyway, but not without a fight. Were they all really business-oriented? My curiosity about demons grew as I realized what deal I'd made. So you'll stay for a couple of days?
A day is enough.
Yeah, sure, fine.
Yeah, sure, fine.
Yes.
Yes.
Diana looked up at me up and down once again. I felt a little naked all of a sudden under her gaze, but I ignored it as she shrugged.
All right.
Done. Diana kept her eyes on me, unsure of what was going on from the look in her face.
So, what do you want to know? You're obviously curious about demons enough to make a deal with me.
I'm glad that the game didn't end just then. My first thought shot to her, but then I remembered the boys. Not all of my questions were answered, and I wanted to know everything. First of all, who exactly are you? Diana chuckled before crossing her arms.
You may refer to me as simply Diana. As I said before, I'm a succubus, and I intend to bring the boys back home.
Fair. Back home? What do you mean? Back to the demon world?
Precisely. They don't belong here, and it's imperative that they return.
I'm out of water, shit. Why?
Did they not tell you? They're runaway royals.
Yeah, well, they did mention a castle. I couldn't believe my ears. What? They were royalty? Why would they run away from royalty? Diana simply smirked at my new surprised face.
Ah, so they didn't tell you. How unfortunate. You were in the presence of a demon prince and his noble brothers and you didn't even know.
Yeah, that's about right. I felt myself unconsciously walk over and sit on my bed. They hid something gigantic from me. Why? Did they not trust me? Then again, it had only been a couple of days, yet they helped me and were here for me regardless, acting like servants instead of noblemen. I gripped my head in frustration. What am I supposed to believe?
Believe whatever you wish. The confusion will fade away soon enough, regardless.
Yeah, thanks. I looked to Diana, who only gave me an almost somber look in return. She was serious about removing my memories, but she would keep her end of the deal until I learned all I could. That, and I felt thrilled to have her. Maybe it was because she was a succubus. I didn't know. I sighed and faced Diana. So how did you get to the human world? How did the boys get here?
With the help of a human, in both of our cases. There's truly no need for details beyond that.
Fair,
Any
okay.
human can cast a demon summoning spell. It's just a matter of what happens during the summoning and after where things get tricky.
Okay, what do you mean?
Well, if a human is willing, only part of their life force is taken from them, and they are given one chance to open a bridge between our worlds to allow the demon they desire to come through.
That makes sense, that makes sense.
The more demons come through, the more life force the spell takes.
That makes sense, especially having talked to my grandfather about it.
Luckily for the poor human that brought them here, the boys sacrificed some of their own powers to open the bridge instead of letting the spell feed solely on the human.
Ooh, that was awkward. Ooh, that was
the
awkward.
human lived, and the boys came through.
Actually, something in my mind clicked, but I couldn't clear it out to figure out what it was. I nodded only to Diana. This thing seems to be assuming that I didn't talk to my dead grandfather about how he did it. And you were the same?
Somewhat. However, I don't care to go into details about how I came here. You'll forget soon enough.
Yeah, but it's part of the deal.
You wish to have me around for more information. I get to decide what information to give.
Fuck you, Diana. Cheater.
It's not cheating if it's not a broken rule.
Fuck you. I huffed and crossed my arms and legs. Diana was a game player and I didn't like her rules. However, they were the rules I had to accept in order to keep my memories a little while longer. I'd find a way to remember. She wasn't going to win. Diana let out a small chuckle and ran a hand through her hair.
Well, I believe I should head to bed. If I'm to stay here, then I need some form of sleep.
Ooh, do I get to boner? I watched as Diana crossed through my room to the door and opened it. She turned to me with a small wink.
Have a good night. See you in the morning.
Don't we get to boner? Come on! Before I could respond, she exited my room and closed the door behind her. I stared. It was like she was in control. I almost gritted my teeth at the thought. She wasn't the master of the house. I was. I huffed and crawled back under the covers. How did my life get so complicated? What was going on with me? I must have had serious bad luck. I sighed and covered myself with my blankets, wanting tonight to end. I needed tomorrow to come. School would take my mind off of things. If school actually happened, anyway. I awoke that morning minutes before my alarm. I felt slightly groggy, but I didn't exactly feel bad. It was more of a physical exhaustion with a mind ready to take on the day. I stretched and quickly changed into my clothes before heading downstairs with my bag. As I reached the lobby, I stopped and sniffed the sudden new smell in the air. Breakfast? I continued my way to the dining room to see Diana laying out a plate covered with sliced fruit. On the table there were delicious-smelling eggs, toast, bacon, ham, veggies, and juice. I felt my mouth salivate. But then I remembered that Diana was serving breakfast, and I shook my head. What are you doing?
You're up. Come. Breakfast. I didn't know what you liked, so I made everything I knew humans ate for this time of day.
I walked over and scanned the table before giggling. Diana raised an eyebrow at me.
And what is so funny?
You didn't make everything breakfast-related. You forgot a couple of things.
Like what?
Coffee, pancakes, waffles. Diana looked almost insulted before looking to the table and recounting the plates. I laughed harder, making her glare at me.
I haven't been in the human world long enough to know everything, all right? Unlike the boys, I know little to nothing about what you humans eat in your homes.
Look at you getting all huffy. At the mention of the boys, I suddenly remembered them. They treated me like part of their family, caring for me and making sure I was okay beyond anything else. They were servants to me, and I let them go. I let out a sigh at the memory. Little did I know that Diana stared at me the entire time. I shook my head and looked at the table, getting an empty plate and filling it with what I wanted before sitting and eating. Diana remained standing, watching me. I felt almost naked under her gaze, so I looked over, pausing my eating. Aren't you going to eat?
I already ate.
What did you eat?
You really wish to know?
Yes! Obviously yes. I wanted to know more of her. Of course I said yes. Diana stared in surprise at me before smirking a bit and reaching into her cleavage. I watched as she pulled out a small purple vial. She popped the cork and poured a mere couple sipfuls into her palm before recorking the vial and placing it back in her dress. Diana closed her eyes and closed her hand. What was she doing? This was odd to watch, yet at the same time I was practically at the edge of my seat in curiosity. What was she gonna do? Her hand started to open almost like a blossoming flower and revealed a small peach-sized fruit. It was purple and had an almost enchanting smell to it that made my food seem almost disgusting.
A plant from the abyssal plains. We call it a sweet flower. Would you like to try it?
Fuck yes, I would. Dude, if a demon offered me, fuck yes, I would. Hell yes. I nodded, staring at the fruit. It looked absolutely glorious and delectable. I couldn't resist grabbing onto the chance to try it. Diana nodded before cupping the fruit in both hands and pulling the purple flesh from the fruit, revealing a juicy blackish center. As if it was cut on the inside, Diana pulled out a perfect slice and handed it to me.
I must say, you may be the first human to try this fruit. You should consider yourself lucky.
Yeah? I nodded, not pulling my eyes away from the fruit slice in my hand. It was juicy and its clear juice painted over my fingers. I somehow didn't care. I wanted to try it and savor it. I lifted the small slice to my lips and took a small bite, feeling ecstasy run through my mouth. I almost couldn't fight back the moan that was erupting from my throat. Does it make you come? It was sweet, yet it was slightly tart. It was the perfect combination, and at the same time it felt so unnatural. I felt not only pleasure in my mouth, but my body began to feel energized and warm. All of that was from a small bite. I swallowed the biteful and let out a pleasured sigh, making Diana smirk slightly at me with a raised eyebrow. I couldn't lie to her about how it tasted. It's delicious.
That it is. They're natively grown in my kingdom, so I have the pleasure of enjoying these every day.
See, you're kind of friendly. Come on, Diana. You have a kingdom?
I do. The boys are not the only royals in the demon world, sweetie. I just so happen to be a princess.
Well, then what are you doing out here? She really a princess? How? She looks so mature. She was more of a queen than a princess. Unless you're to tell me that demons live for 600 years or some shit. Really? You're a princess? You seem more like a queen. For a split second, I swore I saw Diana blush, but she started to laugh and I shook my head of the thought.
You flatter me, little girl. You best be careful. I may just take your flattery as an invitation to take your energy.
Oh, is it? I shut my mouth, feeling a blush run across my own cheeks. I returned to eating the fruit, hearing her chuckle and eat the remainder of the fruit on her own. Surprisingly, I felt full just from that small slice. How could that be? The only explanation was that it was a demon fruit, so I mentally accepted it as just that. What I didn't expect was Diana leaning over and lifting my chin to look down at me.
Messy, aren't you?
She's gonna fucking... Yep, there it is. I stared as Diana came closer and gently kissed my cheek by the corner of my lip, making me gasp slightly. What was she doing? Why was she kissing my cheek? I was red in the face already, and here she was taking advantage? Diana pulled away and slightly licked and popped her lips. What?
You had a little juice on the side of your lip. It was bothering me.
Oh, is that so? I ran my fingers over where she kissed me and felt my face grow even hotter. Diana chuckled slightly at the sight, making me almost glare at her. There's a lot of almosts in this game. I didn't know if she was flirting with me or trying to embarrass me. Either way, she was winning. Eventually, my alarm started going off, reminding me to be ready for Naomi and Suzu. Right, school was a thing. I stood from my chair and grabbed my bag, walking out of the dining room.
And where are you going, might I ask?
I have to go to school.
Ah, I see.
I looked to Diana, feeling that she was up to something. She had her arms crossed, looking to me as if I owed her something. What?
Well, I don't exactly want you to leave this house with the memories you have. I'd be breaking the rules if I allowed that.
Of course. But we had a deal. You stay for a day, I keep my memories until you leave. I still have to go I have still
Then skip school and stay home.
What?
That, or I go with you.
What? Diana was crazy. To suggest going to my school was practically signing a death wish. Everyone would ask about her. What would I tell everyone? That's crazy.
I can't let you leave this house with those memories unless I'm with you. Rules are rules.
What rules?
The rules of the world, sweetie.
Rules of the worlds? What was she talking about?
The rules applies to any magical being that lives in the human world. They were established on a day you humans might know as the birth date of Jesus Christ.
What the fuck? So does that mean Christianity is legitimate?
It's a story to some, a religious faith to others. I won't deny or prove a religion exists because that's a human matter. Magical beings, on the other hand, don't pay attention unless they're angels from the world of heaven.
Good. My curiosity was pecking at my mind like a frantic bird. I wanted to know more. Diana was giving me answers and I wanted to ask more questions. However, I had to go to school. I was conflicted.
Stay, and I'll tell you more of these rules.
Or, and if I go?
Then I take your memories. Now.
Against the rules! There was no way I could bring Diana with me without some repercussion. If she took my memories now, then I'd go to school without remembering everything. However, if I stayed, I could learn more, but I'd miss school. Save scumming time. What should we do, ladies and gentlemen? Do I go to school or do I stay with Diana and let her tell me all these juicy stories about the demon world? You decide! Who won? Who's next? You decide! Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this series of episodes. I did like the last 4 episodes all in one long take today because I couldn't stop fucking playing this game because it's so interesting. But you get to decide. Do we let her take my memories and go to school, or do we stay with her and talk about the demon world? Let me know. I hope that you like this video. If you like it, the like and subscribe buttons are waiting just below this video to feed you a demon fruit and then lick you on the face. You can also follow my socials. That's the Facebook and Twitter that are down in the description box. And if you want to do so, you can maybe throw some support my direction at the Patreon link that's there as well. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.